Hello, everybody. Today is Palm Sunday, and I just barely attended the Palm Sunday of the Lord's Passion at the Cathedral of the Madeleine in Salt Lake City. Two fun facts before I get started. It's actually it's the only Catholic cathedral in the U.S. That's under the patronage of Mary Magdalene right now. So that's kind of a fun fact. It's a beautiful cathedral. And then another fun fact is that my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, was the church that initially sold the land that the church was built on. Members helped contribute to the renovations of the church in the 1990s, as well as the church itself. So it's kind of fun the history behind the church. But I really enjoyed the service. So I went with my wife, my sister-in-law, and my two nieces. But it was really fun. Kind of different. We went outside. There was a procession inside, but it was really cool just starting to hear all of the church bells going off. There was a bishop there who gave some words outside. He blessed the palm fronds. They ended up having it almost looked like a small kind of brush or like a broom almost. They'd dip it in a bucket with holy water and just kind of flick it out all over everyone. So that was interesting. I've never experienced that before. They had a choir outside with some youth. Um, yeah, I would say most of them were like probably under 18. There were a few others that were a little bit older, but uh, mostly kind of a youth choir. But they were really good. They were great at singing. But yeah, kind of outside we did all that. There was a gospel reading, and then we had a procession into the cathedral itself with all of the palm branches. Once we got in, um, it was pretty standard service for the most part, I think. There was a full reading of like the Passion narrative, which is I think it's Matthew like 25-26. I'll put like the exact thing on the screen here. Um, but we all stood for that. It was interesting reading the whole thing. It kind of starts with Jesus's entry into Jerusalem, and it talks basically about like the whole last week of his life. So it goes all through the crucifixion up to the resurrection. Um, so it was interesting that kind of for Palm Sunday, I was kind of just thinking that it would just be about Christ's entry into Jerusalem, but it was kind of like the whole Holy Week summation, which was interesting. Outside of that, one other thing that was pretty interesting to me was the Nicene Creed. So previously, last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess now, when I visited the Episcopal Church, we did recite the Nicene Creed together, but it was just a resuscitation versus this time it was sung. There was kind of a some music in the background that it was to be sung to, and it was all in Latin. So I have a question for any Catholics watching about why is the Nicene Creed recited in Latin? I'm not sure if they sometimes recite it in English or not. I'm ignorant to that fact. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. I mean, historically, the Catholic Church has had a lot of ties to the Latin language. Um, but with the Nicene Creed being originally written in Greek, I'm sure it was probably translated into Latin very shortly after for the Western Church. Um, yeah, I am curious why kind of the holding on to the Latin aspect of it is there after the Council of Trent with kind of allowing non-Latin languages like local languages into mass. It was interesting to keep the Nicene Creed in Latin. So that was kind of interesting to me. I felt kind of lost with that. The whole congregation, everyone's trying to read the Latin, but it was kind of a little bit scuffed. But it was interesting. The bishop, um, I, he was really interesting. He was fun. He had a good sense of humor. They did the sacrament of initiation. Um, he was kind of making a few jokes before that. He was don't be embarrassed, stuff like that. But it was good. But the sacrament of initiation, I didn't really understand it. Like they called people up. they kind of had a procession down the middle of the church with a cross leading the way. I didn't see if they went anywhere kind of in the back at all. I don't know if they did anything there. So I didn't really fully understand that sacrament, kind of what the essence of it is. Um, I mean, they kind of presented them before the church. I'm not sure if that's kind of the requirement. Um, yeah, it was interesting to be able to see that. So, um, what else? So the bishop, he actually I really enjoyed. He kind of gave like a sermon during the service, which was really good. Just kind of about a lot about peace and just focusing on how we can achieve peace through Christ. But he also had this part of the sermon that was really interesting that I liked, where kind of I can't remember all the questions he asked, but he would kind of ask the congregation uh, something. So he would say like, "Is Jesus Christ Lord and King?" And everyone would wave the palm fronds. Yes, yes. And it was kind of fun. It was really interesting. Um, Very ceremonial. It kind of reminded me of more covenant ceremony. Um, just like him being a representative in authority in the front, asking the congregation all responding together in one voice, yes, yes. So he kind of just went through multiple things. Um, some of them were more theological. Some of them, like, do you believe Jesus Christ is Lord and King? Some of them were more about practice. Like, will you? Oh, I'm trying to remember. There was something in there about loving others, but it was really good. I like that a lot. Um, During the communion portion, um, when they distributed that, this was the largest church service that I've been to so far this year. So it was kind of interesting. I couldn't quite see logistically how it worked. We were sitting a little further back, and we obviously didn't join in taking communion. Um, but it was interesting, just kind of watching everyone get up. I think there were several. I'm not sure if they were all priests. I'm not sure what title. Maybe they're all priest. But there were multiple kind of people in the clergy that were helping to distribute the host. So that was it was really good. The cathedral itself, I kind of skipped over this. Is absolutely beautiful. Definitely the most beautiful house of worship that I've visited so far this year. So I really enjoyed the service. It was great to be able to sit there, just have thousands coming forward to receive communion. Um, I do have a little bit of holy envy. I do wish that as a Latter Day Saint, we don't hold. We call it the sacrament. Um, every week, right? So we during general conference, which is also coming up this week, and I'll probably talk about this later in the video. We don't hold the sacrament, and during state conference, we don't. And I kind of feel like that's a lost opportunity. I mean, um, it's pretty central to my worship. So kind of taking a day off of it kind of feels a little strange. But I really did enjoy being able to watch them partaking communion. Um, the the bishop holding up the bread and the wine. I think he said something along the lines of "Behold the Lamb." I love the phraseology. Um, yeah, it was great to be able to see everyone participate in that. The palm fronds were really enjoyable to have that procession. Um, so I really loved the service overall.